Oh, hello there. This is Frenchie. I'm with my man Jay. We are here to react on the last voyage of the Demeter. I don't know much about this. Fast, I get the comments I saw. I think it's related to Dracula, which I always love a vampire story. I love horror movies. I find they don't do them proper these days. Like the older horror movies are my favorites because it had style. Now it's just about the formula. So I'm hoping this is not one of them, but you never know. But because it's a vampire stuff, I'm down. What about you, man?
Hashtag Team Charlie. If we're talking vampire stuff, no. I do like me some vampire things. Don't get me wrong. I'm a relative fan of horror, but I have hopes for this because like we all know if it's gonna be a Dracula thing, it's gonna be a Dracula thing. But I think this is one of those things that like everybody skips over is his that transatlantic voyage from going from Romania to America, especially by sea because it's the only way that you could. Really kind of just gets skipped over even in the books. It's not a very long description, so I mean I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, if there's a hole to fill, they filled it. So let's go ahead and check this out. The last voyage of the Demeter. Here we go.
On board. Powerful evil.
We call him Dracula.
The Demeter, on charter from Romania to London.
Sorry about that. Oh, that's a good actor.
Oh yeah, Liam Cunningham.
Yeah.
Out at sea with no land in sight.
Ooh.
Oh, it's a DreamWorks movie. Holy shit.
He's a doctor.
You dress like a learned man. University of Cambridge. I know my way around the boat. Our charter has agreed to pay on this for timely arrival in London.
Let me show you the ship. This here is Huckleberry. We don't come with like this to give the ewes clear.
Demeter's a fine boat, no doubt.
Oh, that's Corey Hawkins.
Ooh. I got an Alien 3 vibe.
All the livestock? This looks like a bite. Search the ship.
That's fucking David Dastmalchian.
Yeah.
Evil is on board. Powerful evil.
Ooh. That's a good match.
In the night it drinks our blood. He is here. We call him Dracula.
He's coming!
Did you see the size of that bloody thing?
I'm gonna kill the cursed thing.
He is on this ship, which means that we will never leave him.
The devil is real. May God have mercy on us all.
Oof.
Okay.
Oh yeah. You seem reluctant. I'm full in. That looks good.
No, it's not that I'm reluctant. It's just my question is like you have food stores on a boat, right? Just for humans. Okay? Vampires obviously not human to an extent. So wouldn't he think to bring more people with him?
I mean, we don't know the circumstances of the story. Like
You're
again,
right.
in the book, there's a big gap, right? And the movie's a big gap. I'm sure they're filling that big gap with more information. But I love like it almost felt like Alien in Aliens, like that you don't see You don't see
Yeah.
the creature too much. It has this claustrophobic feel to it that I appreciate. Like I haven't seen a vampire movie
Well,
like this.
you had Jonathan traveling with the Count throughout that because the story of Dracula, as written by Bram Stoker, is an account of the story by Jonathan Harkness. Like he's the one who writes it, and he travels on the boat with him. I'm not trying to pick it apart. This actually looks incredibly fucking intriguing. It's just like if it's reimagining, it's a retelling. I mean, I'm still here for it. I'm locked in. I actually like. I might look reluctant. It's just because I have questions, and they probably won't be answered until I watch the movie. But I will watch this movie.
Oh yeah, the same here. Like I wasn't expecting to be a Universal and DreamWorks movie too. This is big and really good actors, like he kept mentioning. This has potential, man.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, there's a lot going on in a trailer, and I like it, but I think sometimes making a trailer ask more questions than it answers is a good way to get people into seats in a movie theater, but it's also one of those ways that can kind of alienate some people who are like, I don't truly know what this is about, so I'm not going to see it.
But it goes to what we're saying. It's a double-edged sword. Like again, we're talking about Batman versus Superman before the trailer, how it ruined everything.
Absolutely.
And you know exactly the movie before it even started. I prefer asking questions than having the
100%.
answers. So
100%.
I'm happy this makes us ask questions. It makes me want to go see the movie, you know?
Yeah. Like I'm formulating what I think could be happening in this movie before I go and see it. I'm not setting that as the expectation of what I am like, what I need to see happen in the movie. It's like, hey, these are my thoughts that I saw when I watched the trailer. It didn't give me everything right, you know, on a silver platter. I want to see what happens in this movie because I'm intrigued by what's going to happen in this movie. But just like I did with the other one that we did a little while ago, the Lonely Castle in the Mirror, or whatever the hell it's called. I have an idea of what could possibly happen. Am I going to be pissed if I'm wrong? Absolutely not. It means that we'll get a story where I'm just like, oh, I hear the title of something, or I watch a trailer or something, and I have it immediately figured out. Like I'm actually really kind of excited to see this. August 11th. So this movie hasn't come out yet.
It hasn't come out yet, but it's very close around the corner. I'm guessing this is a theatrical release. Am I going to see this in theaters? I mean, if I have nothing else to do, probably.
Yeah, if I don't have anything to do on like the 11th through like the 20th, I'll probably go see it.
Yeah. Is this going to be a huge box office hit? I highly doubt it. No. Because again, this seems very niche, and I haven't heard anything about it since now.
No, but it's Universal and DreamWorks, and they spend money on marketing, which means that honestly, this movie will probably be a flop in movie industry terms because they're going to spend more money on making the movie, hiring the actors, and marketing, and this movie's going to make it box office. And it just sucks because when that happens, we don't get more movies like this. But this is a concept that isn't an original concept, but the idea of this movie itself, that portion of the journey, is an original concept.
I'm sure it's going to be better than the piece of crap of Renfield that it was. So,
oh no, don't do that. I haven't seen Renfield yet, and I really wanted to see that movie. Give me Nicolas Cage doing his Nicolas Cageiest, and I am fucking there.
On paper, should be good.
No, don't tell me that. I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna watch that movie later tonight. And I'm gonna come at you.
If you all could watch it together, and I'll criticize the whole goddamn thing again. But now one thing also before we go, I want to talk about is the design of Nosferatu. The design is creepy. I love the fact that they kept. Anyways, we don't see fully the vampire, but they still kept the essence of Nosferatu, but kind of updated in a way that still feels refreshing and very monster-like. So I really like the direction they're going with the monster. What about you?
So like that's one of my things. I really like the design of like the Moroi fucking version of a vampire, that ball-headed with the pointy ears, like more like anthropomorphized bat if it was more human than it was bat, kind of like those pictures of Bat Boy that you see in National Enquirer. I do like that because it really separates it from humanity. So you're not like, oh, this is a good guy. You know, I can. He's the main character of the movie. I like this person. I like this as a character. Which, you know, if this is based off of Dracula, if it's based off of Dracula, you know, own interpretation, he is the main character of the story. As much as like everybody loves the fucking telling of Jonathan Harkness, not really the fucking main character. Dracula is, because it's entitled Dracula. I like the design, and I think we've gotten more used to humanizing monsters to be like, oh, these are all tragic backstories, instead of maybe this guy went through something bad and then just chose to be an actual demonic presence in other people's lives, you know, or the strigoi, not the moroi, the strigoi.
And you're right, because a lot of like horror these days, monster horror, there's a nuance to the villain, you know. But then you got horror, like again, I'll go back to Aliens. There's no redeeming quality to the xenomorphs. They will kill you, and you can't negotiate with them. You cannot reason with them. Their sole purpose is to tear you apart. And I like that kind of direction of a creature that you cannot negotiate, you cannot reason, you just have to find a way to survive.
It's a cosmic horror at that point in time, like legitimately, because there's no negotiating with that. It's, if it wants you dead, you're dead. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I do like horror movies like that. I love the Alien franchise. I like Prometheus more than I think most people do. But the only thing that I liked about Covenant was what's his name? It's Michael Fassbender's character.
David.
Thank you. I was like Darther. Darther isn't right. But David, because David essentially creates that like xenomorph human hybrid that becomes the xenomorph later on down the line. And he's a robot. There's no, like, you can talk to it, but you're not going to convince it otherwise of what it's doing isn't the best course of action. So it's going to continue to do that.
Huh. Kind of sounds like my ex. Anyways. All right. On that note, thank you again for joining us on another trailer reaction. Look, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what you doing? Go ahead and subscribe, press like, comment, and look, if you want to share our content, that is greatly appreciated as well. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm trying to see what to react to. So if there's anything talking about music, movies, TV shows, game stuff, anything you want us to react, please let us know. We will do it. We need content, people. So help us out. Till next time, bonsoir.